draft, they probably see already that something like that might be locked in and is going to be the glaive. Bacon on point with your prediction there. Hammers, they got the final pick of the draft coming up.
So this should be a weapon glaive.
Should be.
And this is one of the few weapon glaives we've seen, which is interesting. And if this is the case, then not just pulling it out just because, it would show that they have really been preparing, learning from week to week.
I also like that it puts Aloha on a playmaker.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's, you mentioned that Aloha's kind of looked the weakest of Immortals. I think a lot of it because a lot of the heroes he's been playing have not been playmaking heroes.
All right, Petal going to be locked in. Interesting last choice. What do you think about the Petal into what we're hearing here?
I feel like they're going to have some trouble. Their team is so squishy. There's a lot of healing, like a ton of healing. Lyra, Petal, both can do huge amounts of sustain, but sustain doesn't...
Yeah, it's Immortals versus Hammers. We get this one underway. How are you doing today, Scoundrel?
Dude, I am good. I did go to a family gathering party before this, and I'm severely allergic to cats, and a cat was there. So I did feel until about half an hour ago, not particularly great, but I'm feeling good now because I'm doing some North American Vainglory, and it's already got action, Dalsy.
Yeah, Chicken123 taking a huge amount of harass there from both Dienzio and Veins, and the thing that you need to look at is Veins with this Dragon Blood contract. We've seen a little bit more popularity this season, trying to just get those early kills onto the board.
Yeah, actually we've seen a lot of contract variety over multiple regions. Look at this. This is what you want to do with a flicker going in. That is Chicken going down for first blood. Dalsy as quick as anything. Exactly what you need to do with a flicker. Apply that early aggression. Control those brushes in lane because you have complete dominant control this early on. You can see Chicken now having to invest in early flares. And Humanist actually talked about it nicely, Dalsy. He talked about the... Oh, Jesus. We've actually still got action going on. I didn't even see. I didn't even see.
No worries. Well, it is a fantastic start for Immortals here. The desk said that Immortals would be on the back foot. It was like Hammers have all the tools to take down this Immortals lineup, but certainly to begin with, it's a 2-0 already.
Yeah, Dalsy, just in future, I'm a bit groggy today because of the allergies.
No worries.
If it happens, shout, and I will just shut up, dude. I felt like you were like a classroom there. You were like a really quiet pupil, and you were like, teacher,
Miss,
teacher,
can I go
please,
toilet?
teacher. No, just be like, Scoundrel, shut up. My turn now. My turn to talk.
No worries. Well, yeah, no, let's talk about this. You're talking about the variety, or maybe not. We'll wait to see what these guys are looking to do. Is Hammers making a bit of an aggressive play. Tiger's coming up to the lane just to show a bit of presence. Will they go aggressive? Oh, Spain's going in. This could be disastrous for Hammers if they're not able to escape. Tiger's to leap forward. The trampoline bounces, and Dienzio, he's not going to get away from this one. That's going to be the kill. Going on over to Chicken123. Aloha makes his way up to the lane, but you're too late, buddy. Perhaps not. Tigers has disappeared. Veins going in, and actually they just want to find starting all over. He's going to take huge harass. The kill was there.
Oh, it's still going.
It's the captain's show, and Chicken123, the afterburn saved by Aloha. Unfortunately, not enough to get the kill onto Chicken. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade overall.
So this is the one issue with Immortals. If they go in and they don't get something from Flicker's initial engage without glaive, they are going to be stuck in the mud because they'll do very badly kiting backwards against the likes of a Petal because they'll just get chased down with nothing to really stop Petal in her tracks. If they bring the glaive into the mix and he can start doing some repositioning, especially onto someone like the Petal, then Immortals are going to have a better shot. But you can see here they can continue the aggression. Again, Petal here though.
Yeah. Bane's in trouble this time. It's starting all over, looking to put the harass down, but once more it's the captain's show. Chicken123 securing that kill for his team. Dienzio may be in a bit of a pickle. It just depends on how Hammers wants to play. He's currently just looking to harass the turret down to about half health before this lane starts to be dispersed.
But that Dalsy was case in point, right? You saw them go in, you saw them look to be aggressive on the Ringo, and without the glaive, they didn't get anything. Petal showed up, and then they had nothing in the tank left when they were trying to retreat. This is a kind of, if they're trying to make these plays happen in lane, they have to be darn sure that they're going to pick up a kill from that initial flicker engage. I think they actually have to be a little bit more savvy with their vision control, because if they go in and Petal is there and Aloha is not, they're probably going to lose that initial engage. Aloha is going to go aggressive onto Lyra here, though.
Yeah, Chicken's in trouble. Crystal Sentry looking for the support, but it's going to be Aloha with the afterburn. Now on the wrong side of the wall, that's going to be him traded off. A little bit sloppy there. Maybe not enough respect shown to Hammers in another 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, that was, again, a little bit more like greed eyes. You saw he was so close. Again, starting all over, going in.
Oh, gosh. Starting all over. This game is so chaotic, right? So this is Immortals versus Hammers, this scoundrel. This is the old guard versus the new guard. You know, the exact same roster that took Hammers' Velocity to Worlds. And now facing up against their, you know, new brethren, their replacements here. It feels like it's a bit of a blood feud.
Definitely, but this is kind of what you expect with Flicker games. Now, if TSM were playing this Flicker game, because I know that they have got a lot of Flicker experience, FlashX talks about how strong he actually thinks this particular hero is, you wouldn't see the kind of mistakes creeping in that Immortals seem to be bringing through. They're not quite respecting that return damage that the Petal has, especially now that Frostburn's completed. They're going to have to be even more careful. But this is kind of what you expect from Flicker games. Flicker is the most dominant, early, aggressive sort of captain hero in the game, almost, you know, just the way that, that Flicker likes to play than the play style. So if you are going in with Flicker, you're going to expect kills either way. And I think I like this from Immortals more now. You need to bring Aloha into the mix. Aloha was power farming, Aloha was sat in the jungle for the most part, Dalsy, but it was punishing Immortals because Tigers was T-Tigers is always there on Petal to back up from those initial Flicker engages.
Yeah, and you know, T-Tigers has also got even more CS than Aloha, so there's nothing really to show for Immortals perhaps, but that 2-kill lead that they're currently sitting on. This weapon-powered glaive, usually we've kind of seen this utility glaive. Even in the captain role, it's full utility. If it's jungle, then there's a bit of CP added onto it. What do you make of this this weapon-powered glaive then?
Well, Weapon Power Glaive takes the poor parts of that utility glaive. It gives you a little bit stronger early game. You've got a little bit more burst built directly into your kit if you can get onto a target. And I actually like it versus Petal. Wait a second. Turret's going down here.
Aloha's right behind them. They're looking for the turret here, Hammers, but little do they know that Immortals are ready to fight. Vaynes takes a huge amount of harass, and actually this is Immortals having to disengage straight off the bat. Hammers with a great bit of macro play, just the rotations out-rotating Immortals, and then they don't even have to fight to save their lives because Immortals basically just give up.
And that was really clever from Hammers because Immortals were dancing around in the enemy side jungle. They were using that flicker to try and put pressure onto Petal. Obviously, Aloha was doing a bit of counter jungling, just taking away some of those forward camps. You know, Hammers just ended up saying, do you know what, fam? I'm not that bothered. We're just going to shove your lane. Adagio's going to get caught, unable to defend realistically that well against that Ringo push. And they've got a really good shove there because I think they were trying too hard to make something happen with the Petal and the Flicker. And again, Aloha trying to push the boundaries here. Hellfire Brew comes through.
Yeah, they're going to look to turn this straight back on, starting all over, playing so aggressive up on the front line as this Ringo starts to do the damage. Aloha in trouble. Will he be able to escape? No, it's going to be the kill going to starting as he just runs away. The Crystal Sentry getting involved, and actually Hammers want to take this one down, but they turn straight onto Vaynes. He overstepped his mark. That's going to be him falling. Dienzio trying to find something, but there's nothing to find. T-Tigers with a double. The Sentry will be defeated, and Hammers walk in and take everything.
Pause comes out here, so we'll have to wait to see what happens. But let's just sum up exactly what is going wrong right now for Immortals. When you pick a Flicker, you obviously have a huge amount of early aggression that you could put onto the map, and they were doing that. But actually, Hammers responded really well. They kept bringing T-Tigers out of the jungle to help counteract some of that aggression. And by counteracting some of that aggression, they actually managed to get some return kills. And if you start to get return kills, if you start to put pressure on the Flicker, you don't necessarily need to actually then go down things like the contraption route because you don't feel threatened by the Flicker. The only reason you'd ever go contraption against Flicker is if you're feeling threatened by her. You know, particularly, or sorry, by him, it's a male hero. If you're feeling threatened by him, or as he's causing so much havoc across the map that you can't actually stand not to know where he is. Right now, Hammers have actually just alleviated all that pressure by responding to the early ganks, making good use of that over-aggression that Vaynes was putting out on Flicker, and actually I would say that Immortals responded incorrectly by consistently trying to do these two-man ganks when time and time again, they seem to have got caught out by the fact that Petal was there and ready for these ganks to happen. If Aloha had been there, they could have gone in with Aloha and turned that fight around, turned the gank around, maintained the momentum. But now they've lost the momentum. And Dalsy, when you've got a Flicker and you lose the momentum, that's not where you want to be.
Definitely not. It's going to be an uphill battle now, and especially with this weapon power glaive, a little bit more all or nothing than the utility, since the cooldown on the afterburn is a lot shorter when you go that CP route. So I can kind of see where Immortals are wanting to be sure that their all-ins are great, but you know, there's a great saying, you miss all the shots you don't take. And if you don't take any shots, then that's probably worse than attempting to take a shot and failing.
Lots of shots there, Dalsy. I didn't quite keep up with all of them, but it's early infusion by T-Tigers, level 9 infusion at 9 minutes. So he's really sort of banking on the fact that they feel confident that they can take these fights, especially with the Broken Myth Frostburn finish that provides excellent control. And because this is the weapon power glaive, realistically he gets 1, maybe 2 afterburns per fight. If you can navigate that first afterburn, use that bright bulwark correctly, you have complete control of the team fight from here.
They're going in here at Scoundrel. The Mooncloak comes in and Aloha trying to do the work to starting all over. He's just about to escape. And the Fountain now doing work. T-Tigers turns the fight. Dienzio, the first of 4. The Hellfire Brew burning Aloha alive. And now Vane's going to be in trouble as the double comes forward for T-Tigers. That's going to be another turret going forward. And this was all off a aggressive engage from Immortals.
But they had to, right? Because they're in a position where they were forced to make these kind of engages. They don't win. They don't win engages where they aren't the ones that are commanding the sort of the initial engage. So if they're the ones just sort of wandering in, if they're kind of like waltzing into the team fight, saying, "Oh, we might find an afterburn, Dalsy. We might look for, you know, a casual pick off." No, they don't have that. They've got that sort of, we pick out a target and we try and burst them out. And unfortunately, because of how far behind they are, especially with the fact that they got a flicker, remember they've lost the momentum. Weapon power glaive doesn't feel particularly satisfying to play when behind. Doesn't have that comeback mechanic of the CP cooldown glaive that we sometimes see coming off the jungle, where you have like a 4-second afterburn. No, this is a team that would thrive off running from the laning phase with an advantage, and then capitalizing on that by forcing fights over and over again, Dalsy. Well, when you're behind, you don't want to force fights over and over again, and this is not a composition that's going to come back particularly well in the late game compared to what we're seeing the Hammers team bring. And because the Hammers team just have a fantastic late game team fight, they've got the control of the flicker, the control of the Lyra, and they've got that late game damage from the Ringer. It's just cut and dry at this point for me.
And, you know, even if there was to be a comeback, it's going to be a long drawn-out one. The gold lead already for Hammers is just so huge. They've got themselves 6,000 on the board, and already these turrets, these outer turrets being taken, you know. Immortals have no control over this game right now. You can see Vane's just trying to be a human scout trap more than anything, because the Crystal Sentry gets engaged on. They may look for starting all over. Reflex block comes out, but Aloha has that afterburn. Doesn't matter. T-Tigers finds Dienzio, and that's going to be the start of the fight here for Hammers, going their way or the highway. A second kill for them as starting all over gets involved, and this threat of T-Tigers on Petal, it means that even if starting all over is the one being engaged upon like we've seen so often throughout our weeks, it doesn't matter. T-Tigers is just going to claim house.
Yeah, but also, you've got essentially a double heal composition coming through here, Dalsy. I mean, you used to see this with the Dagio and Lyra last year sometimes, but this is almost a double heal composition because of that ultimate from Petal and that heal coming out from Lyra. And remember, the way that the Immortals are going to want to play this, Dalsy, is they're going to want to barrel all of their members onto a target. So they're going to barrel Glaive, Flicker, and Adagio likely onto a singular target. That target's probably, like we've seen, going to be starting all over. And that's perfect for Petal. That's perfect for Lyra. They group up on the Sigil. They group up on the Ultimate. Suddenly you get mass AoE damage from the Petal saplings exploding. And then you also get the healing from her, Munions exploding. So you get that double whammy for Hammers. They've just got a great composition there. They're executing it really well. And it's all because they alleviated that early game and really tempered that early game from Immortals.
Immortals, they're pushing forward, trying to find some vision for themselves, but the fight's just being taken by Hammers. They're looking to get straight on into the action as starting all over, finally meet his team. And it's a bit of an awkward arcane passage there, but Immortals, they're still on the run. They're going to get sandwiched here, and that's going to be T-Tigers focused down by Aloha and Dienzio. They just going to take Dienzio straight on out. T-Tiger's just such a force by himself. Doesn't need anyone. Doesn't need a man. He has his damage coming from the Petal. It's an ace instantly, and that's pretty much it. I feel like that was the last hurrah. Now with, 20 seconds left, yes, they respawn here, but the turrets are going to be taken down so quickly. This Petal, this Ringo, they're going to start bursting them down, and for Immortals here, they might get that last-ditch effort to try and do the work, but I love the way Hammers, they take both turrets at the same time, make sure that the respawns happen before they even get onto the Vein Crystal, and that's it. That's just the game. Instantly, Hammers, a super clean game, Scoundrel. Immortals, they're going to have to revisit the draft.
Yeah, I don't even think they have to revisit the draft, though, because I think